Thank you so much, Bridget. Now, look, I just learned this. Her face is plastered onto his socks. I said, I love your socks. And he said, I do too. The theme of tonight is Hindsight is 2020. And I had to go back and look at the definition of hindsight. The definition of hindsight is understanding a situation or event after knowing what happened. When I was told about this thing, I thought about the Nintendo Switch of all things. You can tell I'm a video game guy. And the Nintendo Switch has an application. It's called the Nintendo Classic. And anybody who has ever played a Nintendo Classic, the gray boxes that had games that were so hard they were not meant to be beat, could understand that the caveat with the new Nintendo Switch Nintendo Classic application is amazing, which means that you can play a game, and if you're about to lose a life or lose a man or make a misstep, you could just stop it and rewind. Now, wouldn't that be perfect in life if we could just rewind, right? Oh, I forgot their birthday. Rewind. Oh, I dropped the ball. Rewind. Anniversary. Rewind. It makes me think about my own life and how when I was in second grade, I had to go live with family members, other family members. I stayed with my mom for a while, and then in second grade, I lived with another family member, and I cried every night. You just cannot believe how it feels to be taken away unexpectedly from your mother. But there was a woman, a strong, powerful black woman, born in 1925, my grandmother, Queen Esther Robinson McLean. She said, you know what? I'm taking the responsibility. And she took me in as her own. She taught me how to be respectful. She taught me how to be kind. She taught me how to love others. And man, it was some of the happiest times of my life. I grew up in her house, and I got to high school, and my grandmother got sick. It happened again. I had to leave. I had to go move in with family members. And this time, I was a little more mature, a little wiser. After a few years, my grandmother regained her strength, and her sickness was just something that was temporary. I came and I spent the summer with her. And during this summer, she had an event where she couldn't breathe. And she called me into the room and she said, Dexter, come in here, I need some water. I gave her water. I need my inhaler. I brought her inhaler. Finally, I called the paramedics. The EMTs came in, they took care of her, they took her out, and she was okay. She told me that I saved her life. I said, no, I just listened to everything that you told me to do. Well, when she came back, I said, you know what, Mama Esther? Maybe I should stay here with you. Maybe I should move back in, and now that you're feeling a little better, I could finish high school here. She said, you know, that'd be a great idea. The one thing we need to do is go and get your school records. And so happily, one day, spending this summer with my grandmother, we went down and we went to her car to go and get my school records. I remember helping her into her car, and I remember getting into her nice silver Chrysler S300. It probably wasn't an S300, but in that time, to me, it was. And as I closed the door, that's the last thing I remember. I lost my life that day. I woke up later, And all I heard was beep, beep, beep. And everything was blurry. And there was a strange person in front of me. They said, "What's your name? What's the date? What year is it? Who's the president?" I answered the questions and I blacked out. I woke back up. It was nighttime by now. And I said, "I gotta go to the restroom." I'm still confused at what was going on. And I got out of the bed that I was in and I fell on the floor and I blacked out. I woke back up. And by this time I was surrounded by doctors and nurses. And they told me, "You were in a real bad car accident with your grandmother." I said, "What? What happened?" Well, they informed me what happened. Somebody wasn't paying attention. It was a college student. And I asked, "Is Mama Esther okay? Is she, God forbid, is she still alive?" She was okay. She was still alive. But as for me, I might not ever walk again. I said, I wouldn't be able to walk again. I lost my ability to walk. I had a head injury. And I just decided to accept it, deal with it. A few weeks passed. I was in the hospital, and I find myself in the hospital area, the children's wing, and lo and behold, I'm playing a Nintendo. And I'm in my wheelchair playing a Nintendo, and I see a beautiful nurse walk past. And I'm playing, and I pause, and I look. And I think, oh my gosh, she wouldn't even think about talking to me. I can't walk, I can't do anything. My self-esteem, it was shot. But that night, I was in my bed, my hospital bed, and I decided I'm gonna give it a try. I scooted into my chair and I rolled into the bathroom, and there were black and white squares on the ground in the bathroom. And my arms were strong enough, and I took my arms and I grabbed the sides of the wall and I pushed myself up to where my legs could touch the squares on the ground. And so I bounced with my arms from square to square. And I would do this night after night after night. And then one night, I felt pushback. And I kept going. I kept going. And then I started to try each leg from square to square to square. I finally let the doctors in on what I was doing. They said, "You're not supposed to do that." But, of course, they believed in me because I believed in me. And so they put me in the physical therapy, which was getting on a sitting bicycle. I would sit down and I would try to push the wheels on a bicycle or push the pedals on a bicycle. They had me try to walk down the hallway, and I mean, if you would have seen it, I looked like Bambi just being born, okay? But after so much time, I was okay. I was all right. I got better and better. Even to this day, I park far away from the grocery store just so I can walk in, because I'm so grateful to walk in. Bridget said something about me smiling all the time. And of course, I walk through the halls and they say, "Mr. Bailey, you always smiling. You always got a smile on your face. Why are you always smiling?" I said, "It's like I'm born again. And I'm loving this life. And I'm loving myself." You know, when I think of hindsight, being 2020, and doing something over again, maybe doing the things that you did in life and going back and changing something. Personally, I wouldn't change a thing, because, you know, I believed in me because my grandmother believed in me. They believed in me because I believed in me. And for 2020, I want you to take your new year and go wherever it is you want the year to take you, because I believe in you.